Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR 2. In a video game, if you come across an empty room with a health pack, extra ammo, and a save point, you know some serious crap is about to go down. What is the real-life equivalent of this? HR being present in a meeting you've been invited to. Toby is the worst. Toby is HR, so he's not really a part of our family. Plus he's divorced, so he's not even a part of his family either. And a sheriff. HR, yes, I see the problem. This just gave me flashbacks. I can still smell the bull crap coming out of my former boss's mouth that day. Haha, I remember a few years ago joking about how we would all be made redundant soon as they'll move our jobs to the north of the country. A day later we got a meeting request. I joked it was because we were being made redundant. We arrived at the meeting and HR were there. I was like, we're being made redundant, aren't we? We were made redundant. I was told I wasn't a good fit anymore for the company. Weeks after I completed a prototype that won a huge contract, got openly rewarded in front of the company, greater than 60 people present, and then finished the following pilot app. That was all over a span of 2 months. At the time, I hadn't been given, or asked for, a raise in over 18 months, and took a pay cut for the company 8 months prior to termination. The lead guy the first reported to was on vacation for half of that time as well. I was terminated before credit was due for the pilot, and all that credit went to a project manager, a designer, and QA tester that only ever got in the way. Everyone present at the time was aware of the work I did. Needless to say, this company has a high turnover rate. Yet I was reassured time and time again that I shouldn't have been worried about that. And this is why millennials give no craps about company loyalty. Those lazy young folk, only caring about recognition and money. They'll jump ship at the first opportunity. B-word please. You neglect to pay me a wage that justifies my economic contribution to your company while giving all the execs bonuses, and will fire me at the drop of a hat just to make your quarterly report look good. No matter how productive or essential I've been. Yeah, they pulled that one on me when I was being promoted. Scared the crap out of me. I walked in, saw the people there and immediately said, should I be packing my stuff? Fortunately everyone laughed and said, no, it's good news. We promise. Fricko. They should have said, yes, let you freak out a bit more. And then told you it's because you're moving to a bigger office. My old boss would always bring a cardboard box to your annual review. Just to screw with you. Everyone knew it was a joke except one guy. He actually got visibly nervous once he saw the box. Did you work it under Mifflin? Home office with no pay. Customers always right. Waking up and having a lot of missed calls from family members. I had a college exam once and we have to set our phones on silent and leave them at the front of the class. Exam lasted 2.5 hours and when I finished I saw 13 missed calls from Dad. My grandpa was sick at the time and I thought the worst. I went pale and started shaking. Later I managed to call him and he told me he was just worried because I wasn't picking up. Apparently he had forgotten I had an exam. Grandpa still passed away 2 days later. Equally, 3 a.m. phone calls from people not known for drunk dialing. My elderly mother called me at 3 a.m. in a panicky voice. First thing I asked was who is in the hospital or dead. Turns out the sewer backed up into the house and I spent the next 15 hours ripping up carpet, moving furniture, and vacuuming up water. My grandmother is in hospice. My aunt is pretty sick too. My mom called me 3 times one afternoon while I was at work. Normally she texts me first, saw the missed calls, called her back in a panic. She just wanted me to help her pick out a new USB travel charger. My mom did that once while I was in college. At 9 p.m. on a Friday night, thought someone died or someone else was using her phone to tell me something. But no, just her asking what I was up to because she was bored. I was shit-faced so. My mom and brother once called me 4 times each and left a message that my dad got in an accident, with no other information, then decided to not pick up my calls until like 11 a.m. the next day. It was a fender bender and he was fine. I was so freaking pissed. I thought he was seriously hurt. She wasn't bored, she missed you, you little crap. My mom did this to me a couple days ago. She has cancer, and when she started calling out of the blue, my soul left my body for a moment. I was convinced it was someone else calling to give me the bad news. Nah, everything was fine. She just wanted to chat. I was super wired during that convo from the fear-fueled adrenaline rush that gave me lol. Coming home to all your friends and family, but it's not your birthday. I saw this happen back in college. Guy in my dorm had his brother die in a helicopter crash just before Desert Storm. This has been my worst birthday yet. The food's terrible. Everyone's telling me to quit drinking. And it's not even my birthday. Quote. And there's no booze. How am I supposed to party without booze? Asterisk shakes head, I need a drink. Reaches for vodka bottle hidden behind bookshelf. Grandma starts crying. Offers bottle to grandma. No, you. Take a seat, young Skywalker. In war, before they send you into your likely death, they'd often feed you much better than usual. TFW Private Jenkins runs up to you excited that the CO handed out extra chocolate rations. The night before D-Day, they fed all of the men a large meal before getting them ready to be sent on the invasion. The large meal, combined with the psychological stress of what lay before them and the motion of the boat, resulted in more than a few people getting seasick on the way. I've sailed across the channel a few times, and you don't need a big meal of the threat of an dangerous offensive at the other end to feel seasick. And sadly, when they did that for D-Day, the breakfast actually increased the odds of the soldiers dying, as many got seasick afterwards. Edit getting many responses. Yes, nerves from being about to die can also make a man throw up. Yes, people would have gotten seasick regardless of the food. But the greasy nature of the food and the amount they ate made things much worse than they already were. Edit 2. U2.be. Yeah, but haven't you ever had a huge meal when you're just like, ugh, kill me now? So it's really the best time to go. The Navy does steak and lobster and/or breaks out the ice cream when deployment is about to be extended. Steak and lobster every 2 weeks for an undetermined amount of time. They never just simply block extend. No, it's freaking 2 days here and 1 week there until not even the faintest aroma of hope exists in there. Shit pile of a hope-eating monster. Also steak and lobster for inspection teams and pre-inspection teams and pre-pre-pre-inspection teams. We were given an ice cream social, and then told that the shit that was going replace us on station broke and we were being extended for an undetermined amount of time. Having a timeline sucks, but it gives you something to look forward to. We had no idea how long we were going to be there. By the end we were eating pancakes at every meal because it was the only food we could make. Edit. I was on a submarine. Oh cool, so the goddamn Navy ruined pancakes. That's where I draw the line. Absolutely. Funny story about that. My friends and family come visit when I got back. Woke up on the first morning back to my best friend, non-Navy, making pancakes. Thinking HES being nice. When all the higher-ups suddenly start taking their accumulated vacations, that's when you know the company is about to blow and it's time to find a job before you find yourself without one. Then you go for an interview and find one of your colleagues also applying for the same position. And somebody steals your ficus. And all everybody says in the interview is experience, loyalty and hard work. I was an IT admin at an old job, and one of my duties was to go through the spam filter just to make sure no legitimate email had been accidentally flagged for inappropriate language, etc. The company was going through a rough stretch for a while, and the CEO embarked on a nationwide tour to reassure all the staff about how everything was looking up and the future is bright. One day I am looking through the spam filter and here is an email from same CEO writing to a fellow higher up in another company asking about possible employment opportunities there because there is no future in this place. Company will close soon. So, did the company close? What happened to the CEO? I need answers to these burning questions. CEO left about a month later. The majority shareholder who owned 70% just walked away. Government took over and they are figuring out how to settle the $500 million plus debt they acquired. Take a seat. Shut the door. Take a seat. Shut the door. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Note: my ability to remember lyrics is unreliable. Is it okay if I shut the door first? From the original comment I can now only imagine someone butt-dragging the chair to get to the door. Shut it. Then butt-drag it back to get in front of the person speaking. All happening in a large echoing room with several silent businessmen. This is why we're firing you, Smith. Why? Because I perform tasks in the order they're given to me. That's why you don't hire programmers. Turn on your TV. What channel, doesn't matter. Inspired by a Reddit comment. During the London 7/7 terrorist attacks, the motorway signs on the M25 City Ring Road simply said, "London is closed. Turn on your radio." That sounds terrifying. There was a story on our No Sleep, I believe that was basically emergency broadcast system. Close and lock your doors and windows immediately. Do not go outside. Do not look at the sky. History Channel was showing news. Cartoon Network I think was just showing a flag. I do remember that Comedy Central still had The Daily Show. Maybe it was a couple days later. But Jon Stewart recalled how from his apartment he used to be able to see the WTC. But now the view was the Statue of Liberty. It was a kinda chilling moment. He was all tearful and the audience silent and stuff. PBS. Bless them. You should invite a trusted co-worker or member of your union to this meeting. I have on good authority collusion isn't a crime. Follow-up doctor's appointment after a medical test. And the receptionist tells you to bring a friend when they scheduled the visit. This happened to my wife. Long story short, cancer. She has been cancer-free for 15 years after treatment. Oh, and when the formerly very friendly receptionist suddenly can't look at you. When they put you in the room to wait for the doctor and no one has looked you in the eye once. You know then, I sure did. I got a letter from my doctor saying, "You must bring a support person," about 2 months ago. The doctor just wanted to catch up and see how I was doing. But doc, you are my support person. That is just cruel. As a child, knowing that you've done something you shouldn't have, and as you eat dinner your parents suddenly go silent and look at you. My dad used to segue into the "you done fricked up" conversation by turning off the internet access without telling me. This led to the inevitable moment of debating if we were having internet issues from the provider, or if I did something I didn't know about. Always led to the gambling question. Why is the internet not working? Edit. I know segue is misspelled. I'm leaving it as the image of my dad as Paul Blart on a Segway is amusing. Your mother is fricking the milkman. And before you start to question if it's your fault, I just want to make it clear here and now. It's absolutely your fault, you ungrateful crap. You've got no moves. Shut the frick up. Someone you don't know asks for you. Using your full name. It's usually a semi-government agency, and it's never free cupcakes. Now I want to go around asking for people by their full name and giving them cupcakes. Would probably have to dress in a suit though. Damn, it's not the single mom from my area this time either, sad face. Single FBI agents in your area are looking for a discreet one-way relationship. Edit. Highest rated comment is now about government mass surveillance. I wouldn't have it any other way. I was flying as an unaccompanied minor with my twin brother when we were maybe 9 or 10. On this one flight a crew member came up to our seats and called us by our first and last names. 96. Quote, I remember being so scared and worried I almost crapped my pants. It turned out to be one of my dad's clients who had recognized our last name from the flight manifest and was upgrading us to first class. Edit. Forgot to mention that after he called us by name he also asked about our little sister and mother by name, which only made me crap even harder. Walking into a classroom and everyone has buried their noses into the textbooks instead of chatting. Or walking into a classroom, or work, and nobody's there. I hate it when I forget the date of the final exam. That literally freaking happened to me once and it scared me half to death. I read a finals schedule wrong. Sauntered around on campus. Bought my blue book. Enjoyed the sunshine. Ran into a classmate. OMG turtle. Aren't you freaked out about the final? What? No. I have an A in class. It'll be a cakewalk. You do realize it was at 10 a.m. Right. I just sprinted to class. There were still a few students in there. Professor rolled his eyes and handed me a test. I finished it in time. And even passed. But holy cow, my heart was running a million miles a minute. Similar thing happened to me. Stayed up stupidly late to study and set 3 alarms to wake me up in 2 hours. Woke up to my alarm but immediately knew something was wrong. But I was still groggy, so I didn't quite know what it was. I finally focused on the clock and realized I was 1 hour into my 2-hour final. I let out quite a few expletives, threw on a shirt, and sprinted to class. I got there with about 30 minutes left, sweating and panting that I could make it. The professor just looked at me and said, "You're sick. Come back Friday at 10. I was so frazzled I didn't understand what he meant at first. So he repeated himself, "You're sick. Come back Friday at 10. I thanked him and went to bed. Came back Friday and aced it. That professor was really looking out for you. When you do something you know you're supposed to be in trouble for, but your mom is all quiet and sad but nice to you. I'm not angry, just disappointed. I hate this. I'd rather be punished and hit with the wooden spoon or flip-flop than deal with that torture. All out of wooden spoons. It's sad and quiet but nice treatment for you. If you're a kid in a hospital and you get a visit from the Avengers, well, I like the rare unique game over cutscene. This is dark as hell, but so funny. Iron Man comes to bed, kid, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I could imagine a kid with a terminal illness saying this to our DJ, and I have no idea what he'd do. Probably just say nothing. What could he say? When you are walking through the woods and everything gets silent, no crickets, no birds, nothing. They've recognized 2 creatures are in the area that won't get along well. One is you and hopefully the second remains a mystery. It's weird to think that we think of ourselves as pretty squishy and vulnerable in the wilderness. But every other life form sees us the apex predator we are. Tell that to grizzly bears. Then out of the corner of your eye you spot him. Shia LaBeouf. He's following you about 30 feet back. He gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's gaining on you. Shia LaBeouf. You're looking for your car but you're all turned around. He's almost upon you now. And you can see there's blood on his face. My god. There's blood everywhere. Running for your life from Shia LaBeouf. He's brandishing a knife. It's Shia LaBeouf. Lurking in the shadows, Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. Living in the woods, Shia LaBeouf. Killing for sport, Shia LaBeouf. When your co-workers are super busy and you're just kinda not busy, but every time you go to take work off their hands or pick up projects, they say, "No, it's fine, I can take care of it," and then your work starts getting offloaded onto them as well. I got it. You're the only one who knows how to do this. So we're going to get you an assistant just in case something happens. 2 months later and I was gone, and they kept him at an assistant's salary. Thanks for watching LWIAR 2. The best of all time r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out the original LWIAR channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe.